Good morning, Warzone kids. Here comes a story about alienation, a story about the birth of the artist. I put it together from my one-man show. Um, uh, as a storyteller, one of the reasons that I write and tell about my life, of stories about my life, is so I can myself know what are the stories that I tell myself about my life, so I can put them down. You know, I hope you like it. Uh, Here's the tomato story at the beginning, and I hope you watch it all the way through to the end. It's a beautiful day on the trail of the Western Lands, boys and girls. We got a lot of miles today. Let's walk them together. It's a beautiful day, just like you.
I made a life-altering decision. I announced to my folks that I wasn't going to eat the slice of tomato they put on my plate. I ain't eating that! With those words, my fate was sealed. Daddy had a very short way with little kids announcing what they would and wouldn't do. See, children at that time and place, they were there to respect and obey their elders. Living was incidental and completely optional. He looked at me, cut 3 slices of that tomato, slid them off onto my plate. They fell like sullen mutineers walking the plank. Blop, blop, blop. I looked at it. You'll eat that or you'll go to your room till you do. Daddy was a trigger puller. He made no idle threats. I set to it. Got it all down. All except for the last bite. I just couldn't make it go in my mouth. You were like a magnet. You turned the wrong way. I couldn't get it to go in. Next thing I knew, I was being marched down the hallway. Door to my room closed behind me, and there I was. Nothing but a stack of Airman magazines to keep me company. That's the Air Force magazine. Daddy would bring him home from Tinker Field, the Air Force base where he worked as a civilian after he left Army. I was a precocious reader and already an avid devourer of stories. I read in those Airman magazines about the Hanoi Hilton. That's a prisoner of war camp in Vietnam, where folks like Admiral Stockdale and John McCain survived years of isolation and torture. They made it through because they had a code, they had a mission. I'm a proud fighting man. I will hold out as long as I can. Make them break me every time. I will keep my honor above all. I stood up proud and I saluted the back of my door. I heard there the words of my mission. Never, 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 never would any tomato pass my lips. Every mealtime, Mom would bring in a little plate. Next to the meal was that tomato bite in its saran wrap shroud, growing older and slimier by the day. Every mealtime she took that plate away, empty, except for that tomato bite. And every mealtime I was more alienated and more isolated, but every mealtime I was proud. I had my honor. It was something like 4 or 5 days on the calendar. But days on the calendar didn't mean nothing to me. I was living in eternity. I was never going to eat that tomato. Then one day, Daddy come in, plucked me out of my cell, marched me back down the hallway. And there, on that 70s yellow and white lemon wedge table, lay the instruments of my destruction, laid out like the Inquisitor lays out the torture implements. But instead of a rack and hot pincers and the Vietnamese rope trick, I saw French fries and ketchup and a tomato bite. What new horror was this? Daddy took that bottle of ketchup and squeezed a big lake of it out onto the plate. Took that tomato bite and mashed it all in. Then he took his fork and he speared a French fry, a freedom fry. And he dipped its toe into that fiery lake of tomato and brimstone and held it aloft. Eat this and we're done. Well, I looked at that French fry there on its fork, and I saw the microscopic dot of red, and I pondered on the homeopathic dilution of raw tomato it contained. I saw what it was. This was an exercise in face-saving, worthy of a proud samurai. I ate what was on that fork. Well, from that day to this, I ain't never eaten another bite of raw tomato. Or walked out of that room. Not really. See, I thought I left that room in McLeod, Oklahoma back when I was 5 years old, but I'm still in there. Tony huffed and puffed our door down, but with all the fury in the world, I can't get out of that room this way. No, this tomato is the only way out. See, I think if someone told me this tomato was my one true God, I wouldn't argue with them. Like the good Christian boy I am, I know I must devour the God to gain his power. All the parts of me I think I've been looking for all this time, I think they're all right inside of there. Right inside of you, tough guy. That's right. See, when Daddy mashed you up into that lake of ketchup and dipped that French fry into you, that weren't never going to get the job done, was it? You can't get your power by force or by trick. You can't get your power by make-believe. That was disrespectful. No, it ain't going to be no stranger that eats you. It's going to be me. I know who you are. Alas, poor Benji, I know you well. Gotta swallow you whole. Well, don't worry, it ain't going to be no stranger that eats you. It's me. I know you. I know your name. Alas, poor Benji, I know you well. I choose to eat you now. Yeah. I choose to eat you now with relish. That's a nightmare. Okay. All right. You see, for something like 45 years, my whole mission in life was not eating this tomato. This kind of feels like a betrayal. Betrayal of my mission. What? I misunderstood it? I misunderstood my mission this whole time? The whole point was we had to both be vine ripened and garden fresh? You're just dilly-dallying now, boy. Get in there. Well, whatever it was, it's all over but the crying now. You enjoying yourself in there, tough guy? Good. Nasty. I spent so much time raging about all this. I don't know who I am without it. I have to figure that out. Have to figure it out? Gnoi hoios esimathon. Learn and become what you are. Those lines from Pindar that I didn't understand so long ago, they finally made sense to me now. There's a Star Trek mission for you. To be who I am now, I have to learn who I was back then. To be this man now, I have to become that little boy back there. Because that boy's inside this man. No, that ain't mine. That man was inside of this little boy. And I finally get to join my oldest friends, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, to explore strange new worlds and new civilizations, to boldly go on my own never-ending mission to learn and become who I am. Scotty, I'm coming out. Lower the shields. I don't need them. I've been born again.